there's a lot to be said for having a strong framework of rules and guidelines and knowing really clearly what's appropriate. It's actually pretty straightforward. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty. I believe in His Son, Jesus Christ. I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe in the forgiveness of sins. If we stop to look back at the Mass, we can see that every time we actually outline the main things that we believe in. So when today we're studying issues and things that are going wrong in the world, issues of social justice, it was really it has become a comfort to me to be able to say, well, let's see what the Church says, and lo and behold, the Church says something about it. So I guess maybe you call that the governance of the Church has really good guidelines to help you with just about any decision you could want to make that involves people and caring and commitment and problems and challenges and differences. There's something out there to help you. And you could say, well, it's not in the Bible, but there's 2,000 years of wisdom that have come together to put all these ideas and rules and teachings and governance out there to help us. So when I say to teenagers, okay, you think the Church says don't have sex, but when you look at what sex makes, which is babies, what the Church doesn't actually want is babies born into an insecure relationship that isn't loving and committed and equal in partnership. And that's what the Church doesn't want, is babies that are born outside of that. And when you explain that to teenagers, they go, oh yeah, I get that. So it's not don't have sex, it's don't make a baby that isn't going to be welcomed. And we had a trial of that today. We did a role play, and everyone had a role to play about a girl being pregnant. And partway through she said, oh, I feel so stressed, it's so hard being pregnant. And as we look back at all the responses of the people who played her parents and her big sister and her drama coach and everything, there was a lot of words of disappointment. And I said, when someone's having a new life, it'd be nice to have excitement and joy, but when you're not ready for a baby, you get all the negatives and everyone's disappointed. So there is something to be said for keeping to the rules in order to protect the dignity of all the people who are involved in your relationships. If the rule says love one another, then there isn't room for hurt, there isn't room for telling lies, there isn't room for being late and lazy and uncompromising. So rules like love one another make for a really darned nice society if we could just, stick to it. So I guess to look at rules and things, don't see them as the big negative, like my grandmother said, God's got a big book and He marks a tick if you've been good and a cross if you've been bad, and I believed her for a long time. But use the rules as something that is going to help you work within a society that's structured in a loving way and governed in a loving way by the greatest governor of all, which is God.